Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, The Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. And it is a brand new era here on GShow Productions on GShow.ca, as we are, here to break some pretty big news. First off, with the release of this podcast, this is the official Winnipeg High School Hockey League podcast, as mentioned. I just gotta fix my hair a bit here. Bothering me a bit to start things off. But not only are we going to produce an official Winnipeg High School Hockey League podcast this year, but GShow Productions is proud to be the official broadcast partner of the Winnipeg High School Hockey League for the upcoming 2025-2026 season of hockey. It's something that I've dreamt of for a long time out in this league, and it's a league that behind the scenes, deep down throughout these past few years, I've been chomping at the bit to be able to broadcast this league, and really proud to say that that dream was able to come true as we agreed on this deal to become the official broadcast partner of the Winnipeg High School Hockey League back and all the way in May now. And all these months later, we're here. Preseason is upon us. I know that some teams have kicked off their preseason schedule already. Teams are into the tryout process, and it's just going to be a fantastic year of high school hockey league hockey, and we can't wait to be a part of it, and can't wait to produce this podcast week in and week out. This is the official release date, Fridays. Thinking that it will probably be released at noon consistently as the season goes along, but these next few weeks we're currently just getting back into the swing of things as a broadcast network, but show times are going to be a bit all over the place to start off the first few weeks, and this is why this episode is coming out on a Friday night. But usually the show times will be a bit earlier on in the day, and what this podcast is going to be about is just simply updating you Winnipeg High School Hockey League fans on what is going on in your favorite hockey league, from scores to news to schedule updates, stats updates, player interviews, coach interviews, breakdowns, you name it. We're going to be carrying it here on this podcast, which I think that it's got a nice ring to it, the name Scholasticks, and for the Winnipeg High School Hockey League. They're going to be joining our broadcast family here over at GShow Productions. For those of you that are unfamiliar with us and tuning in for the first time, we started up this company, I guess I started up this company a few years ago now, and we've been able to broadcast games in the Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League and the Manitoba Female U18 AAA Hockey League. We're also a broadcast partner of Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy, and throughout these past few years, our mission has been to deliver fans of these leagues that we cover the most in-depth type of coverage as possible. We've been able to live stream live games, which is something we can't wait to do with the Winnipeg High School Hockey League, as well as producing podcasts, social media content, as well as writing news articles along the way, and really excited to bring the Winnipeg High School Hockey League aboard, which we'll get to those scores in just a minute from the preseason action that has transpired so far. But to start things off, just to show you who the Winnipeg High School Hockey League is joining on our broadcast family. The Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League, as well as the Manitoba Female U18 AAA Hockey League. We're bringing it all onto one place. 200 plus regular season games, playoff games, and showcase games combined between these three leagues this year. And a great part of this, too, and I'm going to get into more details with this with Dana Gordon just a little bit here to start off this show, as she's the inaugural guest on Scholasticks in this era of Winnipeg High School Hockey League podcasting. But yeah, the games will be pay-per-view this year. What we're offering is either you can check out a single game for the prices that we're going to be listing, which are going to be anywhere from $5 to $7 for regular season games. We will probably up that during the playoffs, just in terms of it being playoff time. But to make it a bit more cost effective for yourself and to get more bang for your buck, we're also offering monthly and annual subscriptions, so you'll be able to get more quantity for less price, less cost at the end of the day. And the great thing about this too is that not all the money is going back to us. It's also going back to the Winnipeg High School Hockey League, as we're going to be splitting the revenue as agreed upon with our partnership with them. And it's just, how can you not love the Winnipeg High School Hockey League? This league has been growing year in and year out. They're now up to about 36 teams or so. Massive, one of the biggest hockey leagues here. I'd say probably the biggest hockey league in terms of quantity here in the province of Manitoba, and one of the largest in the country, period. It's a season, 2025, 2026, which is going to be really fun to cover, because year in and year out in the Winnipeg High School Hockey League, there's just so much parity, so much compete with all of these teams, and you're always bound to at least see one of the lower seeds go on a run, which is always exciting. But in terms of some basic payment details for right now, in terms of what you will be expecting to pay, monthly, you'll get at least 10 games per month with our monthly plan, with our monthly league plan for the Winnipeg High School Hockey League, starting at $24.99. That is Canadian, of course. Check it out on our streaming service at gshowproductions.uscreen.io, where all of the games will be able to be seen this season. And we're giving you options, so if you want to just watch Winnipeg High School Hockey League content, you'll be able to access it through the league subscriptions, or you can spend a bit more, because they will be a bit more, just because there's going to be more content offered in there, which is going to be our all-access coverage, which is going to offer all games for you to watch for a price per month. Or if you pay that annual price, you'll be able to pay that one-time payment and enjoy action from all three leagues that we carry this season. Really excited for it, and really excited to produce this podcast and to be a part of the Winnipeg High School Hockey League family in a way this year, being able to become their official broadcast partner. Great things ahead, and we'll have more information about our partnership and just events that we'll be doing coming up later on in this pilot episode. To start things off, in this era of interviewing on the Winnipeg High School Hockey League podcast, Scholasticks, as mentioned, League President Dana Gordon's going to be coming on the show to talk more about this partnership with myself that the Winnipeg High School Hockey League and GShow Productions has made, as well as touching a bit on last season, the general gist of how it went, and the hopes for this season with the league president, coming up next on the first ever edition of Scholasticks, the Winnipeg High School Hockey League podcast, on your home for Winnipeg High School Hockey League coverage here in 2025-2026. GShow Productions, GShow.ca. Dana Gordon joins the show next. It's president of the Winnipeg High School Hockey League, Dana Gordon, joining the show. Dana, I know the start of the school year, as always, it's always hectic. How have you been handling it and dealing with the chaos so far?
Oh, well, you hit the ground running all the time, and it's just like you never left, even though you had quite a significant amount of time off. But, you just get back into the swing of things, and everything just starts to roll, whether you're ready
No
for it
doubt.
or not.
No doubt, and things are just gonna come up quicker and quicker as time goes along, as that is
Yep.
always seems to be the case. But What's really exciting about this season, of course, we start off by talking about it to kick off the first ever edition of the Winnipeg High School Hockey League podcast and Scholastics. But GShow Productions and the Winnipeg High School Hockey League, of course, have agreed to partner up this season as we're going to be bringing the league along on our game day coverage this year. Talk about from a league's perspective. The reason and moving forward with this and partnering with GShow Productions.
Well, first of all, it's a local company, which is always great because we like to support that. But we're really, really pumped because it's an opportunity to reach a much larger market. It's another way to showcase our league, which is one of the biggest high school hockey leagues
Yeah.
probably in Canada,
Yeah.
for sure. It's really, really, we're really, really excited just to be able to get that connection with the kids and giving them that opportunity to sort of experience that game day kind of an experience that they see on other hockey, like the NHL, of course, and other professional leagues. So we're really, really pumped to be bringing that to them so that they can have a chance to experience that and to hit a larger market of fans.
Yeah, and really excited for myself and everyone here at GShow Productions to bring the Winnipeg High School Hockey League into the mix. Felt like a no-brainer for us given the size of the league, as you just mentioned, and just in terms of the quality of play and how competitive each season is year in and year out. I mean, even looking back at last year, we saw many upsets throughout the playoffs, but in terms of now the Winnipeg High School Hockey League having I guess, an official media outlet. Speak more about those benefits in terms of getting the word out and spreading the news about what this league has to offer this season.
Yeah, like you said, it's a new opportunity for us to spread the word about our product. It is something new, so it's groundbreaking for us. And it's also exciting because I know you've also recently partnered with the MMJHL, which is a place where a lot of our graduating players end up going to play after that. So letting them sort of giving the MM a chance to see some of our guys as well through our weekly games that you're going to select, showing everybody how competitive it is, giving scouts an opportunity to watch certain players, even if they're from other parts of the country or parts of the U.S. So it's very exciting for us to get us way like out there a lot more for the future for this season. We're super excited.
Yeah, and as for the MMJHL, of course, as you mentioned, that correlation it's huge between this league, of course, and the
Yeah.
MM. So super excited to bring it all together, all into one place. By the way, as mentioned already in this episode to everyone before we started this interview, all the information can be seen on our Uscreen service right now in terms of our monthly and annual plans and of course, going to be many options to be able to watch through Uscreen this year. But in terms of the revenue aspect, of course, we're going to be given a certain amount back to the Winnipeg High School Hockey League this year. The benefits of that, the upside in terms of the league just having a new source of revenue, I guess.
Yep. And that's fantastic because, I mean, really, aside from our gate that we get for our playoffs, there isn't a lot. And of course, sponsorships, we don't really get a lot of revenue streaming in, aside from like, charitable donations. A few years ago, Santa Lucia made us their community support pizza was for the Winnipeg High School Hockey League. So that was great. We have lots of ideas about what to do with the revenue that we're going to generate from this partnership. What we are for sure looking at is making sure that it goes back to the players. And one of our ideas is to start a fund tied to the Winnipeg High School Hockey League, similar to Jumpstart and Kids Sport and some of those, so that we have some revenue to help some players out there who may not be able to pay the entire league fees or that, just to support them so that we can get as many kids involved in hockey, because that's really what it's all about at the end of the day, is allowing as many kids as possible to play the
Yeah.
sport.
And I think that's fantastic because one of the big issues with getting into the sport is just simply the cost, right? And then you add on equipment on top of that and all the other stuff like team expenses, the list goes on. So I think that yeah, it's so exciting, just this news and this opportunity that's arose this year. And also we've spoken about it behind the scenes, but just the big benefit that this will bring in terms of allowing people who won't be able to make to the rinks to be able to watch and consume this league's content.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all know that there's a lot of travelers that go places warm in the wintertime, down south or abroad or wherever they might go. This will be a chance for them to see games that they might not be able to. A lot of people have families that work further up north to be here for a lot of the season, so it gives them a chance to also catch some of those games, or if they have to work shifts. Like there's all kinds of different opportunities for people to participate without actually being at the rink. And it's also much better opportunity for them to see things other than offer that whole other level of that kind of a feel. So it'll give it more of an actual game, watching it without any sort of commentating.
Yeah, for sure. And we're really excited to bring our game day experience to the Winnipeg High School Hockey League. It's going to be fantastic. Of course, still a ways away until the full schedule is going to be released, but that'll come out sometime at the start of October coming up. Let's speak about just last season quickly, the playoffs specifically. We saw some Cinderella stories in some ways, some upsets. Leia
Mm-hmm.
Remillard and eighth seed team making it all the way to the finals in the Winnipeg Free Press division. Always seems year in,
Yep.
year out, there's something similar to a story like that in this league. Always competitive, and it
Yep.
was right down to the end. The final series brought a lot of great excitement. Yeah, I believe we spoke about it last year a bit, but just take me through how pleased the league was to see the season end the way it did.
Well, like you said, it's always great. It's we always have our finals at Seven Oaks. It's a best of three. We had lots of support from the communities. It was very exciting to watch. I mean, the from the Platinum Promotions division to see St. Massey not only win the city championships, but then also go on to double crown and win the provincial championships. That was very exciting and lots of buzz. Again, we also saw in the Free Press division. We saw another Shaftesbury come through and be victorious at the end. And it's again to see some of those smaller schools that don't have the large 4A populations get right to the finals, like you said, in a Cinderella situation. And in the Price division, to see Louis Riel, a team that a few years ago didn't win a single hockey game, and there was a team that had such a small roster, and they came all the way back and they ended up winning that championship. It's really exciting to see. And it doesn't matter. I mean, the kids, the looks on their faces when they're winning, that's when I'm handing out those trophies and those banners. That's what it's all about. And it's just fantastic. And it's a lot of work, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, that moment, it's hard to describe sometimes in terms of how you can put it into words, just seeing the joy and just the jubilation, all of it coming together in those championship
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah.
But when we first talked last year, you had brought up that there's a competition committee comes together once, the preseason
Mm-hmm.
ends and puts together the schedule, puts together the division. Seems like that continues to work out very positively, considering what the results were last season and how competitive all three divisions were once again. Yeah, just the competition committee talk about those benefits once again, how huge those will be moving forward for this league again in 2025, 2026.
Yeah, it's a really the competition committee itself, who is headed up by Kevin Landerville from St. John's Ravenscourt. He's, I think, their athletic director this year, and Ray Agostino, who is involved with the Dakota Lancers program in the Winnipeg, well, depending on what division they go in. They sort of spearhead it, and they have a series. They have a series of criteria that we use for the teams once they roster their teams. They have to. We talk about last year's record, which again isn't always a great indicator because
Right.
if you have a really solid year but you lose like 2/3 of your team, that's going to impact on how you're going to look differently this year. It also takes into account, sorry, how many players you have from AAA coming to you, how many players from AA, how many returning players. Again, high school hockey involves kids from grades 9 through 12. So how many you get points based on how many players you have in grade 12, 11, 10, 9 respectively, because of course grade 12s are obviously larger and have more experience. So there's a wide variety of criteria that are used, and it's submitted. There's a formula that they work out, and based on that formula, they will seed everybody into whichever division they seem to fit. There's oftentimes one team that will be encouraged to go up into another division. We don't try not to force anybody, but overall, it tends to be quite useful and quite successful in getting that parity that we have had luckily for so many seasons in the past. There's always going to be one or two outliers that are going to end up maybe they should have been placed somewhere else, but it 9 times out of 10 it tends to work out. So it's great. I think it's improved the product in our league that we can produce. It increases the competitiveness. Sorry. It also makes sure that you've got the best players on the ice, and any game in any league you can have seasons where it doesn't matter. You could finish first, but the difference between first and last could be 6, 7, 8, points depending on games, ties, all kinds of different things. So the parity is really great, and we're really happy that we got to that point where we decided that's how we were going to determine who played where.
Yeah, and it's fantastic to see that that parity can be found with 36 teams in total. As
Right.
for this season, the playing field, is there any teams that are out? Any new teams coming in? What can you tell our viewers about that?
Well, as of now, teams are still sort of trying to feel their way and see how many players they have returning. So it's kind of difficult to say. We know that we did welcome Lundar in as a team, so they will be fielding a team in our league because they did a presentation for us, and we decided that was best for their community and their kids to be part of us, because they really had no one else to compete against out where they are, even though it's a considerable distance away. We've heard so far, unfortunately, that Powerview will not be returning. Because they just don't have the bodies to field a team that will be competitive, or to be able to, for the safety of players or for skill in that. So they're opting out for this year. And then there's a few others that are still sort of on the fence, so we don't really know. Monday was the first day that most teams were on the ice. They'll be playing a full slate of exhibition games. Some are already playing this today, I think. So there'll be a few of those. And then as we get closer to that deadline, the teams will have to make a decision. So our scheduling date is October 2nd, and they have to be fully committed to put in a 24 game season or not. They have to make that decision by the end of September.
Yeah, and we'll of course keep our viewers up to date as best as possible on that. As
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have an update on that. I believe October 3rd. Taking a look at the calendar as
Yep.
this podcast will come out each Friday. Exhibition schedule, like you said, starting up soon for a lot of the teams. Some teams are already in exhibition play, and then of
Mm-hmm.
course they're going to start to cut down rosters and stuff like that. What's usually the big goal in this league specifically in terms of, getting a feel for your team? I assume it's different depending on how many returning players and new players are going to be coming into the fold.
Yeah, it all depends. Every school is different. You have your larger schools that have no problem. They'll generate a lot of traction just because they have the successful programs. Again, if you're having a team, some teams lose 12, 15, 13 guys. That sometimes is hard to replace. So sometimes it's difficult. Demographics around the regions change as well. So sometimes schools that had easier times in the past because of different changes in demographics. Sometimes they have difficult replacing a lot of players, so they'll see years that ebb and flow. And it just completely depends on how many players are out there, where they're trying out. Are they going to go to AAA or AA? So there's a lot of different things. So every year is different. Every year is very, very hard to predict for some schools. Some of the solid schools like the Oak Parks, the St. Paul's, the River Easts, they tend to always have, a large amount of kids coming to them. And they always have wide variety of players to pick from. Some other schools sometimes have a little bit harder of a time because again their demographics are changing or they have a smaller population. So just it depends on all kinds of those things. So it's always a little bit stressful from a coach's perspective to see who's coming, who's staying, who's going elsewhere, who's deciding to play, not play, all it fall in. So it's a very interesting time in September for the coaches in this league or any league.
Yeah, and October it'll be here before we know it, and
Mm-hmm.
like you've talked about, once we get rolling, we're gonna be rolling with school, hockey, all that great stuff. But when we talked last year on the Manitoba High School Hockey League podcast, I'd asked you what your hopes were for in terms of what a successful season would look like. From what I remember, you said something along the lines of as little cancellations as possible, not much drama. Just paraphrase, on that because I'm not quoting you directly, of course. But for 2025, 2026, I'm assuming goals would be along the same lines.
Yep. All those things, of course, like we like to, hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate and we won't have a lot of snow days and days where the rural teams can't come into play because if their division's closed, then there's nothing happening for any of their sporting programs. Just looking for a really good opportunity for as many kids to have a successful season. And it's not necessarily all about winning. It's about developing leadership skills, team building skills, qualities that we want to pass on to our young athletes so that they can go and be really successful citizens and positive members of society. So that's what it's all about. The High School Hockey League is all about academics and school first and hockey second. That's our mandate. We are a high school first kind of a focus. The rink is an extension of the classroom. So again, fostering some of those ideas of respect and of self and others and everybody in the hockey world. So there's lots of learning that we hope for. And we just hope that we have a positive, great season with as few glitches as possible.
Well, for sure. And somehow year in and year out, the league's always able to put out a successful product. Given the amount of teams that are in this league, over 30 at this point, easier said than done. Dana Gordon, president of the Winnipeg High School Hockey League, joining this edition of Scholastics. Dana, wishing you and everyone over at the Winnipeg High School Hockey League the best of luck moving forward this season, and can't wait to see you as well as many others around the rink this year.
Awesome. Thanks, Graeme, for the opportunity. And we look forward to working with you this year. We're very excited.
And that's League President Dana Gordon joining this edition of Scholastics, the Winnipeg High School Hockey League podcast. You're on your home for Winnipeg High School Hockey League hockey coverage and High School Hockey League hockey, just news and everything in general this year. GShow Productions on GShow.ca. We're going to take a quick little commercial break here. One of our main sponsors in Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Their commercial is going to play, and then I'll be back to take you through some of the preseason results so far from around the league. Not many reported so far, but there are a few, so we'll get to that and a bit more coming up on this edition of Scholastics. Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city.
dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And welcome back to Scholasticks, the Winnipeg High School Hockey League podcast, here on your home for Winnipeg High School Hockey League content on GShow Productions on GShow.ca. Just finished showing you that interview with Dana Gordon, president of the WHSHL. And as for us, I was super excited, as we mentioned at the start of the show, to be a new official partner, the official broadcast partner of the WHSHL this season. And as for how many games you're going to be able to get with not only Winnipeg High School Hockey League content, but the Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League and Manitoba Female Hockey League, over 200 plus games, regular season, playoff showcases, plus tournaments, league and all access passes available now, and of course this being the price for the Winnipeg High School Hockey League only package on your home for this league on GShowProductions.uscreen.io. You get at least 10 games per month, starting at $24.99 monthly on your new home for GShow Game Day, as we've agreed to put our content on Uscreen this year, our game day content, that is. As for game days, our schedule will be coming out probably in October for regular season, and regular season schedule for sure will be out come October. Be sure to tune into the podcast near the start of next month, as we'll be breaking that news. But we're also going to be broadcasting a few tournaments this year in the High School Hockey League, starting off with the Sturgeon Heights Husky Classic coming up end of the month in October. We're also going to be doing the Tournoi Francophone, which is a tournament that happens every December, and we're also going to be doing the Winnipeg High School Hockey League Rookie Classic this year too. So 3 big tournaments on deck, plus regular season games and playoff games. You won't want to miss the covers this year, High School Hockey League fans. And as for teams that have already kicked off their preseason schedule, we go to the Sturgeon Heights Huskies, who, this week, a statement game to start off exhibition play. Now, exhibition play, as talked about with Dana Gordon, really not much about the wins and the losses, but this is a statement for sure, no matter what time of the year it is. 8-0, wow. Sturgeon Heights hoping to keep this momentum going, not only through the exhibition play, but into the regular season this year. As for the Collège Bellevaux Barracudas and the Collège Jean Sauvé Olympians, these two rivals got their preseason action going earlier today, as the Cudas end up winning by a score of 4-3, a close one. They'll be back in action against each other, this time at Southdale, come Monday at 4:30 p.m. Today's game, as you can see there at Dakota Community Center. Be sure to check out Collège Bellevaux's Instagram account today at that handle, as you can see there on the screen. As for a new team that is being welcomed into the Winnipeg High School Hockey League this year, as talked about with Dana Gordon, it's the Lundar Kodiaks. Their tryouts start the 15th, so on Monday, and it's going to go for about a couple weeks for sure before they end up making their final teams. And their jerseys look sweet, let me tell you that. There's a look at their home and away jerseys. It's going to be repped by the newest member of the Winnipeg High School Hockey League this season. As for Miles Mack, be sure to check out their Instagram at MMBuckeyes Hockey for more information on just their tryout schedule for this 2025-2026 season. In next week's episode, we're going to be bringing to you on a Wednesday because, well, what's going to be happening for us, our first big event as a whole, as a broadcast company, is going to be happening exactly a week from now, we're going to be doing games early on that Friday. But yeah, we start Friday going all the way until Sunday for the 2025 Central Plains Capitals Female U18 AAA Showcase this year. Weekend pass is now available on our GShow Productions Uscreen link. If you want to check it out, be sure to type in what's on the bottom of the screen there on any browser you use. But yeah, those are where all of our game days will be carried this year, as that's a part of our showcase schedule this year. Really excited to be in Portage next week for that. As for us, we're going to be everywhere. We're going to try to, at least this year, in the Winnipeg High School Hockey League. Not sure if we're going to cover any exhibition games this year, but we will for sure be covering plenty of regular season games. You can know that that's a guarantee. That's going to be starting in October, of course. Things are really going to get going after Thanksgiving, from what I've heard. So really excited about it. And throughout this time before the season starts and as teams are getting cut down and being made, we're going to be going through all of these programs, as many as we can, to preview their program as best as we can heading in to the new campaign, which it's going to be here before we know it. Regular season hockey across all three divisions. And by the way, we're going to be covering all three divisions this year equally, as equal as possible, on our Uscreen platform. And yeah, there's going to be more information to come as the upcoming episodes go by. We'll have more details on next week's episode coming up probably on Monday, maybe on Sunday. Be sure to check out GShow.ca for more of those details coming up. But we're going to take just one more little break here, send it to our promo screen, and then I'm going to be back for some final words to conclude the pilot episode of Scholastics. And welcome back to Scholastics. The pilot episode pretty much in the books, but before we send you all off on this Friday night, I want to thank everyone who tuned into this one for watching, taking a look at who's been watching. I think we had quite a few at some point in this episode, just from what I saw briefly on the screen as the numbers changed. But yeah, for anyone who tuned in on this Friday night, or whenever you did tune in to the premiere of the official Winnipeg High School Hockey League podcast, thank you for doing so. Thank you to Dana Gordon for also joining this edition of the podcast. Be sure to check in next week. On our website, we'll also be posting on our Instagram. So for some reason, I can't seem to access our official Twitter account right now, or our X account, that is. Hoping to post on Facebook a lot this year too. Plus, on TikTok, that's the goal. But yeah, for us, the next episode is going to be coming out next Wednesday. But as mentioned in this podcast, near the start of it, mainly it's going to come out on Fridays at noon. After next week, that is going to take some regularity into the schedule in terms of that being the show time. 12 p.m. on Fridays is going to be when you can catch this podcast every week of this high school hockey league season. Really pumped up for it. I hope you are as well. Be sure to check it back all season long on this podcast for, as we've mentioned, updates from around the high school hockey league, scores, schedules, upcoming games that we're going to be doing, which are all going to be able to be found on our websites. And yeah, also showcasing highlights, interviews with coaches and players, and just making this the best experience possible for not only you, the fans of these players and these teams, the parents and whatnot, but also for the players themselves, giving them something that they've never been able to experience before in their great hockey careers. But as for myself, Graeme the GShow Forsyth, this has been all for this Friday night on the pilot episode of Scholastics. I usually send you off with an outro, but we're currently getting those made right now. Can't wait for those to come out, and can't wait for all these episodes to come out this season for you all to see what we have in store this year on your home for U22 hockey in the province of Manitoba on GShow Productions on GShow.ca. But until next Wednesday, everybody, I've been your host, Graeme the GShow Forsyth, giving you the peace out and waving so long. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful and safe weekend as well. Hey.